Hello everyone, welcome into my craft space. Today I am so excited to be a presenter in the hashtag Journal Jigsaw collaboration for Crafting a Garden Story with RachandBella Crafts and special guest designer Angela Kerr. Now this collaboration started on March 15th and will continue on through April 15th. Every single day there are 2 presenters and a prompt. One presenter will be doing the more rustic and grungy side and one will be doing a bright and shabby. So today we are at the 24th and myself and the Kentucky Crafter will be doing brads and garden tools, and wow, this is right up my street. I absolutely love brads and I got the rustic and grungy. So let's get started. I'm going to show you at least 5 ways to grunge up your brads in your junk journals, folios, paper crafting, whatever it is that you're using. So let's get started. One thing that can definitely help your brads be more rustic or grungy is color selection. Brads come in a lot of colors and shapes and even sizes. These ones you can see are very vibrant and bright and might be better for a brighter or shabbier look. But they also come in different colors of metal. So you can see here I've used some darker ones, and that can definitely help you make them look a little grungy. I've also selected some of these ones here in some different metals. So you can see this would definitely be a little more grungy than this happy, cheery, bright yellow. Not to say these can't be happy too, because man, they do make my heart happy. So let's get to work on grunging these up. Okay, so let's look at a few shaped brads I wanted to incorporate in my folio that I'm making here. You can see quickly that these little watering cans, not only are they super cute, but the silver ones are definitely a little more bright and shabby, and these more antique looking ones are easily a little more grungy. So we're going to take a play with those today. And then I also have these ones I just showed you already that are the metals. So I have these tags from the collection, and I'm not going to show you all of the papers in the collection. I'll show you my folio here in just a minute, but I'm sure by now, if you're following along with the collaboration, again, it's hashtag Journal Jigsaw. You will have seen all of these beautiful papers already, and I've already stitched around them. I've left some kind of grungy, journal-y stitches, and I used frayed burlap. Now, color choice, again, is everything when you're trying to be grungy. So grab yourself a brown, or frayed burlap's kind of a gray brown. I love that. But you can also grunge with other colors as well. I've got this mesh here. I've got all kinds of frayed edges going on. Again, that just kind of goes with the grungy theme. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of ball it up here. And then we'll go ahead and put one of our brads in there. Now these brads are 3/16, so I'm going to go ahead and just poke a hole with my crocodile. You can also use a pokey tool or a thumbtack or whatever you have to poke the hole for your brad. Brads are super easy. They don't require any kind of setting. You simply just poke your hole and put the little prongs through, and then flatten the prongs out. Now, I have been playing with brads since I was a little girl. I remember in grade school, they'd give us what they called paper fasteners, and it would make movable parts of your papers or whatever you were making. I remember we drew an outline of our bodies, and we were studying anatomy, and I just thought it was so cool that I had little bending arms and hands and all the things. Now, see, part of me wants to put this piece of lace in there just because I think it'd be pretty, but we would have to grunge it up to stay with our grunge. So we're just going to go ahead and put this in here for now. Okay, so there we go. Now we have our kind of rustic and grungy looking cute little brad. I like to press them and flatten it down. Now on the back side, this is going to be a journaling tag. So right here, we could easily flip this little tab up here of my mesh and just kind of hide those brad tabs. You can put a little button here or whatever you want to do to hide them. Don't worry about brad tabs. They always are very easily overlaid with something. Let's see if my glue is ready to go. And we'll just put this little piece of mesh right over there. Okay, so one of the first ways is just color selection. And the second way I'm going to show you is to distress them. So to distress them, I have my cute little distress hammer. This is a Tim Holtz distress hammer, and you can see it has these little prongs on here. Now, I think you might be able to do the same thing with like a meat tenderizer. Just make sure you have yourself a self-healing mat so that you don't get yourself into trouble tarnishing up your desk or anything like that in the name of distress. So let's just smash up our little watering can just a little bit. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. It looks absolutely like a garden watering can might look out in your garden shed. I don't know about you guys, but we definitely get the wind here, and all of our little garden tools seem to just kind of do whatever it is that they want to do out there, and they get dents and cracks and all the fun things that are cute on our papers, but maybe not so cute in our actual garden. Okay, I'm really liking this, so I'm going to go ahead and do here. I'm going to show you with a pokey tool for your brads. So this is just a pokey tool. Watch your fingers. Use your self-healing mat if you can. Now this tag has a hole in it because I'm going to put some acetate in there. It'll be like a little window see-through. We'll go ahead and do one of these just so we can get it through there. And then close our little broad prongs. You can see, still looks a little grungy, and we're gonna go ahead and hammer it out. Add those little dents in there. Make it look rustic and grungy, like it's just been used and it's around. And then we'll put some glue on the brad tab and hide that with a little bit of our mesh here and strings and all the good things. All right, and we're just gonna keep this a little loose and messy at the top because again, that just kind of goes with the grungy, rustic and grungy look there. So I think that's really cute and it'll be really fun to stick in a pocket. All right, let's get into the third way. Okay, so the third way to grunge up your brads a little bit here is maybe with some alcohol ink. And alcohol ink can be found in bottles by itself, or maybe you have some alcohol markers, might be able to add some color to these that way. You want to make sure you're working in a well-ventilated area, and you know, it is a medium, so maybe kids with supervision, that kind of thing. So I have the ones from Ranger Ink. Those are my favorite brand, but just use what you have. Let's see. Let's find a green. I think it'd be fun to do green. This one's called Meadow. That might be a little bit brighter than what I'm hoping for. That one is Citrus. What's this one? Limeade. Where's the grungy greens? All right, let's just do a green, and then we'll add maybe a drop of brown with it. Ooh, this one's called Latte. All right, perfect. So I'm going to do this on a piece of plastic. This is just a wrapper from something. And you can wear gloves if you're feeling like you might need to. And we're going to try these little terracotta pots and then a plain one here. I had a friend who used to buy all of her embellishments, brads, ribbons, lace, eyelets, like literally all of her embellishments in a white color, and then she would dye them all to match her needs. So pretty smart actually, especially if you're trying to organize. You don't have to figure out how to organize by color or theme if everything is all white and ready to go. Okay, so what we're going to do, again, I'm on this plastic piece of wrapper here, and we're just going to put a couple of drops in here. And you don't need a lot of this. A little goes a long way. These are only 0.5 fluid ounces bottles, and they have lasted me quite some time. So we'll just go ahead and put a sprinkle of green in here. And then I'm just going to take my wrappers, and you can put these inside. If you have some of those plastic, I had one last night. I opened a roll of linen tape, and it was kind of like a more domed piece of plastic that I could put stuff in. Sorry for the crinkle. We're just going to rub this on here. And just kind of mix it up. See what we can get here. Let's see if we can tone down some of these pots. Ah, look at that. It's got that like grungy green on there. That's going to be perfect. And it's just kind of adding a few little drips. And I kind of want a little bit more on the silver one to really tone down that silver a little bit. But you can see it's kind of made it more green-like. How fun is that? So you can definitely tone down those metal colors and make them any color of the alcohol inks that you have. Now, something else you might use if you don't want to do alcohol inks, maybe you have some distress paint. This one is in the color Scorched Timber. It's brand new. I haven't even used it yet. So let's break this open and do some splatters. I love doing splatters, and we're going to go ahead and just splatter these up here just a little bit, assuming I can get this open. There we go. Perfect. So we'll open this up. And I'll probably just use that paint that's there in the lid wrapper. And with this one, if you need mixative, it's water-based paint. So we'll just use water. If you needed to add any kind of extra fluid or anything to your alcohol inks, of course, you just use alcohol. And I keep that in a separate bottle that's labeled alcohol, so I know what's going on there. So we'll give that a spray and find a little brush. And then we'll put some little splatters on our terracotta pots. Let's see. I'm going to get messy, but that's all right. My favorite splatter brush is a fan brush, but I think it's in the sink. Not seeing a whole lot of splatters on it. Let's add some more water. Ha, there we go. I don't know about you guys, but my garden tools always seem to come in contact with everything. It doesn't matter how clean I try to keep them. They have this little splattering, and you know, who knows, they get faded from the sun. I don't have a cute little garden shed like this paper collection is showing, but if you do, maybe your tools stay a little better. Okay, so look how cute these little pots are now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and use these, and I'll show you what's fun. With using brads in your journals, you can make interactive and moving pieces, and that is one of my favorite things to do when I am making folios and junk journals. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to use our brads and make a moving interactive piece in this lap book, flip folio, whatever it is that you want to call it. We're going to be working on this page here on the left, and this is a beautiful page from the kit. I absolutely love this view inside of your garden shed. Is kind of what it reminds me of. And I made these. I used these. I'll put a video in here so you guys can see just a quick time lapse of how I put these together. This is the die cut from Tim Holtz with the viewfinder, I think is what it's called. So I put all of these little pictures of plants, and my idea is that it is kind of like a plant catalog for your garden. So this is going to go inside right here, and it's going to stick out, and it'll be movable. So I want the brad to go in here, and I kind of wanted it to blend though, so that it would just kind of look like it's in here with the garden tools. So I'm going to try to position this in such a way that the brad will just look like it's part of the scenery here. So first things we want to do is figure out where we can position this from where the hole is in the viewfinder die cut here. and then see if it works with our layout. So the hole is like right there. I wish it was like a little bit lower. Let's see. If I move it too much lower though, it's not going to work quite how I had hoped. So we're just going to go with it right here. Now, since this is like a bunch of little pots, I figured we could use one of our newly splattered and grunged little terracotta pot, and hopefully it'll just kind of blend in right there. So this one is pretty thin copy paper, and I can just kind of put it there. It's not going to blend quite as much as I'd hoped, but the idea is still there. So let's go ahead and flatten these out. Now you'll notice I put pictures on both sides, and that's because it's going to be able to be seen from the other side of this flap. So when it moves here, it will be able to be seen on both sides. And there was lots and lots and lots of little pictures of plants that I was able to incorporate from the collection kit here. So both Angela's and Rachel's designs were absolutely perfect for this. And of course, the beauty of digitals, you can print them in any size that you wanted. So I printed them 2 to a page, and my printer actually made it really small. So I was able to utilize those tiny little plant pictures and put them in these viewfinders. And I did 2 viewfinders, one on the front and one on the back, because of course it's able to be seen on both sides. Okay, so we're putting glue all around the page here, but avoiding where our die cut is, so that way it will still have room to move. And we're just going to try to line this up. And I'm not going to worry too much if it doesn't fit perfectly, because I can always ink around the edges. I really want to make sure my my page gets in here as it needs to as far as the die cut, so that it is a moving and interactive piece, kind of like a plant category or a seed catalog or something for your garden. So this piece here is just going to be kind of hanging in the wind there. I probably will add some extra little die cuts around here so this doesn't look so weird. It's just kind of hanging out there. There are some, my brief here today is the tools and brads. So there are some other die cuts we could easily fussy cut out and add around, maybe around that little pot, so it looks like it's not floating in the air there. I'm all about like realism and interactivity when I do my journals. Sorry, I know that's blocking your view there. Let's take a look at a couple of these little tools that we might be able to add around. Look at these awesome little tools. I love that. So gardeners know all the dirt. That's so cute. So we could easily put that down here in the corner, and that might just kind of help it to blend in a little bit better. So I will cut that out, and we'll be right back to do the next one. Okay, so that's how it turned out. I went ahead and tore this down here just so this would have plenty of room to spin. And I really like how it looks in the journal here. It still moves really easily. It's right at the base here. And we are able to just keep flipping through. So this is our next page, and this one's going to go up over here this time. And I guess here we have to decide if we want to use the terracotta pot again. We could put a little watering can right there. Maybe it'll look like it's on the shelf. Let's try that. Oops. There we go. We'll use one of these darker ones, and it'll just kind of blend in, I think. Maybe we can get it to set like right there on the shelf. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty great. Now, sometimes people will put tape on the back of these just to make sure they stay where they're supposed to and nothing catches. But this area isn't going to be exposed, so I'm going to leave that just like this. And I think that's really great. It just looks like the watering can is on the shelf there. And we'll go ahead and add our glue. Again, we don't want to add any glue to the die cut itself so that it's able to spin around here. Lots of glue. We want our page to stay where it's supposed to stay. All right, let's flatten it all out. And I can trim off some of the excess paper if I have some up there. And make sure our little spinner goes where it's supposed to go here. I don't really want to tear off much here, so I'm going to put some more glue up here just to make sure this part is really sticking where it's supposed to. So I kind of want to leave those plants there. I think they're really cute. And that's trying to wrinkle. Let's see. There's our little watering can and our little spinning moving piece moves like so. Once that glue dries, I think it'll be a lot better. There we go. It knows what it's supposed to do. Perfect. And then that little spinner will live right up there. And we won't be able to see the brad on this side, but we can on the other side. And I think that's really great. It's just a very easy way to add some interactivity, still keeping with the grunge. I dirtied this up a little bit here. Our little watering can is kind of grungy, and we could still put a little dent in it, which I think I will because I think it's really cute. Let's flatten this out a little bit. This is such a big folio lapbook thing. It takes up so much room. Just add a few little dings there. And you could also go in with some wax if you wanted to further change the color. That would be great. Or again, use your distress paints or even acrylic paint and just add some extra color and grunge to the mix. So I also want to put some policy closures here. And let's see how we can grunge up these other brads that I have. All right, so one other way I wanted to show you to kind of grunge up your brads. These brads are very bright and cheery, and they're beautiful. I love them. They're from Scrapberry, and I've taken 2 out already. We're going to finish this policy closure in my little envelope here. And what I've got is a bunch of hole reinforcers that I made. I just used my crocodile, poked the small hole, and then used my round punch and just punched these out. Then I inked them with some frayed burlap, and now I'm going to put them in my splat box. I'm going to put my brads in there as well. And we're going to just spray them a little bit and see if we can't get them a little grungier. This is what they look like to begin with. Nice, bright, and cheery. And we're going to put them in here. Actually, it might be easier to put them in here. We'll try it like this first. If I'm not getting much color on them, then we will try it when I put them through the hole reinforcer, which is what I might have to do. Okay, so the colors I'm choosing are scorched timber, gathered twigs, and peeled paint. Peeled paint is for some green, since this whole book has a lot of green and plants. These are oxides, so you want to try to really shake them up. Of course, you can use whatever you have. If you're splatting, you definitely want to put into a splat box just because it will collect those splatters all over your workspace. And while that can be fun, it can also be a little bit of a menace. All right, and you can just keep splattering until you get the colors that you like, or the grunge, however much grunge you are comfortable with. And again, if you don't want to do grunge, I'm sure Kentucky Crafter will be showing you all the bright and cheery ways you can do this as well. There are plenty of other colors that you can use to splatter with if you aren't liking these browns. All right, let me dry these and then we'll put them into the envelope. Okay, now that we're dried here, we're gonna go ahead and put these in. I'm gonna use this one up here. And this is how they turned out. Again, if you don't like this, you can take your paintbrush, and I think it's still a little bit needs to dry. Just kind of blot it like that. Get whatever look or however much grunge you're going for. I'm gonna go ahead and let that set for a second. I'm gonna glue these around the holes. You could also use eyelets and then still put your brad through if you want a little extra height. And we could also put another hole reinforcer on this side as well. But I probably will go in and cover that up with paper, and it will be great. Now this one's going to be a little trickier to get in here. I left this part, you can see I tried to poke a hole earlier and I changed my mind, so I'm going to have to cover that up as well. Probably make a pocket. But I left this piece here not glued yet, so that I could easily set, well, more easily set this brad in here. And then when I'm done, I can glue this piece to the envelope. So I have my added paper here. I'll try to show you here. I have my added paper not glued in yet. See, there's the envelope, and the envelope is what's going to make the pocket. So as soon as I'm happy with this, I will just go ahead and glue right at the top there. And then there we will have our policy closure. Let's put some string in there, so that is good to go. I think I might want this little bit of dark forest green. This is waxy flax, so that it will be nice around the brads here. And then we'll just go ahead and tie this between. I left the brad a little bit loose, so we can get this underneath of there. We'll go ahead and tie this. And we could leave this a little bit long on this tied side, so we could put a little charm or a little bead or whatever we want to do. So we'll just tie that once, and we'll tie it again. Make sure it stays where we want it to stay. And then I've still got this attached to the spool here, and we'll just wrap around a couple of times and trim this off. And that is our policy closure with our kind of grungy looking brads and holder. Okay, so one last thing we can do with our brads that we've all grunged up here is we can put them through our eyelets. And I love using two sorts of metals. It just makes my heart happy. So we have these little watering cans. I think they'd be really cute anywhere here at the top. And whoops, and then on the other side we'll have to put something there, but we can put a trim or a ribbon or whatever it is that we want to decorate with. Let's flip that over and make it just a little easier on ourselves here. Put this in here, flip it over, and just set those little flaps. And the tighter you get them, that means that they will just stay in place. So you can't really see our eyelets too much. That's all right though. What I might want to do is, nah, I'll just leave it there. We could easily put some flowers or whatever here on the back. So I love that. All right, you guys, this is all I've got for you for my portion of the collaboration. A huge thank you to Rachel and Angela for all of these beautiful, beautiful papers. I have been having so much fun playing with acetate and flips and flaps and all the things. And I am just loving this collection and the collaboration. And now I'm so excited because I've got my brads in here with all of my moving pieces. They're kind of grunged up, and I love that. My style and my taste is a little bit eclectic. I kind of mix the grunge and the bright and all of the things together. But I hope you have enjoyed this video, and will try some brads, whether you like them bright or shabby or rustic and grungy. And make sure you are taking part in the collaboration. You can search for any of us using the hashtag journaljigsaw. And in my description here, there will be a link tree that Rachel has so beautifully put together for all of us. And you can find all of the creatives there. There are so many talented people involved in this collaboration, so don't miss out. And there's going to be giveaways. So all you have to do is like, comment, subscribe, and you will easily be entered. So it's free to enter, free for anyone. And this is in March and April of 2024. So if you're watching this later, you can definitely still use the ideas, but you might not be able to enter the contest. But currently the contest is going. The kits are on sale. Everything is beautiful. It's a wonderful way to welcome in spring. And like I said, I have been having fun making this beautiful lap book. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.